Hi, and welcome to General IELTS test preparation videos. In this video, we will be looking at a reading section for the General IELTS, and I will be talking about strategies and skills that you can use to quickly improve your score. I will show you how to practice these strategies at home and how to use them during the test. For this lesson, we will be using an example taken from our website at gieltshelp.com. So for lots more videos for the reading section, as well as other parts of the General IELTS exam, please visit us there and join the full course. Okay, so when you are preparing for the General IELTS exam, especially the reading section, there are several different kinds of strategies that you need to review and practice at home at least several times before you sit the exam so that you have a much better chance of getting a high score. The first and most important step, as soon as you get to the reading section, is to have a look at the title of the article that you're about to read. Now, again, as you will notice, the reading section is divided into three parts in the General IELTS. So it'll have Section 1, Section 2, Section 3. And within each of these sections, there are often two articles, and these articles can be something like a magazine article, a newspaper excerpt, a notice board information, a brochure type information. So quite a variety of different kinds of texts that you can see in everyday use. Of course, because the General IELTS is for immigration purposes, so it's testing your ability to read and comprehend the kinds of information that you would see in everyday society. So again, these articles are not necessarily related or connected to each other within each section. Often they're not. And then, of course, each of these articles is usually followed by one, sometimes two different kinds of question sets. Together, each section will have about 13 to 14 questions. So the first and most important step when you're doing this is to make sure that you read the title of the article. A lot of people skip the title because they feel it's a waste of time. This is actually the opposite. It will save you time to look at the title and just kind of think about that, because that will prepare you for the information that you are about to read. So again, this is General IELTS reading strategies. So again, remember the first step, so step 1 is read the title of the article and ask what, why, and how. So let's have a look at the title of the article that we're using right now, and let's ask these questions. Okay, so in our example, of course, the title is Coin-Operated Laundry, a how-to guide. Now, again, what we want to do here is ask what, why, and how. So the first question that we're going to ask is, what is a coin-operated laundry? So what is a coin-operated laundry? And try to be specific with your questions and answers, but don't make them too long either. So you need to, again, practice this at home so that you can find that happy middle ground. Now, of course, during the exam, you do not have enough time to write this down, so you should be doing this in your head only. However, when you're at home, you should be writing this down on paper because that way you will improve not only your critical thinking, that's what we're doing here, but also your writing skills and so on. So what is a coin-operated laundry? Well, a coin-operated laundry, coins are of course money, change, so money that's made of metal. A coin-operated laundry is usually a shared laundry facility where you can wash and dry your clothes, where you need to put some kind of money into a machine to start the laundry machine or the dryer. So it is a shared laundry facility where money is needed to use the washer and dryer. Great. So then, of course, you ask the second question, again, thinking about the title. So the second question here is, why do we have this coin-operated laundry and this how-to guide? So why have coin-operated laundry and instructions? So this, of course, is your second question. Again, you would want to give a complete answer, not too short, not too long. One kind of skill that can help you with this is to visualize the situation. So imagine that you are traveling somewhere or renting an apartment and you're using this coin-operated laundry to clean your dirty clothes. So visually put yourself into the situation, be in the room, see these machines, feel the change in your pocket, have the change in your hand, see yourself putting the money into the machine, pushing it in, adjusting the settings, starting the machine, and going through this whole process to get a much better idea of what this information might be about. So the answer here, why have coin-operated laundry? Because people may need this if they are traveling or if they do not have enough space in their home. And of course, why do we have instructions for coin-operated laundry? Well, maybe it's sometimes tricky to use, or in different places, especially if you're traveling and you're in a different country, there might be different steps to using these coin-operated laundries. So, because it's helpful. So, it is helpful to have instructions. Okay, so we've asked the what question, we've asked the why question. Now, as our third question, we need to ask how. So again, how do we use this coin-operated laundry? It's very likely, of course, that much of the passage or much of this information will be about this detail. So again, visualize the steps that you're taking in order to get your dirty clothes clean in this kind of a laundromat. So the third and final question is how. So question number 3, how do I use a coin-operated laundry? And if you're someone that doesn't have experience using a washing machine or a dryer, then just do the best that you can. Think about if you've ever seen it maybe in movies or somewhere else or heard someone talking about it, but still always make sure that you take these 3 or ask these 3 questions with the title of each of the articles. Even a little bit of information is better than none. So how do I use a coin-operated laundry? I put money in the machine, then clothes, then soap, and I start the machine or the cycle. Okay, so that's quite a simple description of the steps required, but again, this will surely help me to understand what I'm going to read. So this should always be your first step. Again, practice it lots at home, write it down, and then during the exam, you'll be very quick to be able to do it in your head, and this will give you a much better chance for comprehension and getting a lot more answers correct. Okay, so that's step 1. Now let's look at step 2. So the second step, again, this is something that you should do before you begin reading, is to have a look at the questions that follow the article. So there are about 11 different kinds of questions that you can get in the reading section. These include questions like multiple choice, fill in the blanks, summary completion, matching endings, true, false, not given, also called sometimes yes, no, not given, and so on. Again, for a full list of these questions and the strategies for each type of question, just simply visit us at our website, gieltshelp.com, and join our course. Let's have a look at the question that follows this article that we're looking at now. Okay, so when you're looking at the questions, you shouldn't necessarily read them. The only questions or the only types of questions that you should read before reading the passage are questions that have information which is the same as in the article. In our example, we see that the questions here for the first article are filling in the blanks for a flow chart. When you see this, you should recognize that all of the information which is in the flow chart, and for this fill in the blank type question, is coming from the article. You will be able to find all of this information somewhere in the article. So this is a type of question that's okay to read before you start reading the article. As a matter of fact, it's a good idea to read this kind of a question before you read, because it will give you a second way to understand what you're going to be reading. However, if you're looking at a question, for example, like true, false, not given, this kind of question, when you see it, do not read it. Simply just go to the article and begin reading. Do not read that question. The reason why is because true, false, not given has a lot of information that is false or not in the article. And this can easily confuse you when you're going to be reading the article. So these kinds of questions do not read before the article. All right. So again, remember that read question types which contain information found in the article, but no extra or false information. So again, one example of this kind of question that you can read is fill in the blanks. Or summary completion. And again, do not read questions that have false or extra information before you read the article. This includes, again, questions like true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given, or multiple choice. Okay, so again, the logic here is that questions that contain information which is in the passage will help you understand the passage. Questions that have extra or false information will confuse you if you read them before the passage. So again, second step, look at the questions, read the ones that have information in the passage, don't read the ones that have extra information. All right, and again, while you're doing this at home, try to visualize, so try to see these questions, try to see the information. All right, let's go to step 3, which is simply reading the passage. So let's see what you should do to make sure you improve your comprehension when you do that. All right, so once you've read the title, asked and answered what, why, how, and then looked at the questions, see which ones you should read and which ones you shouldn't, the third step is to read the article. Now, when you're reading the article, there are a couple of important concepts to follow. Again, you will have about 5 minutes to read each article. 5 minutes is lots of time. A lot of students panic, get stressed, get worried that they do not have enough time to read the article in 5 minutes. You sure do. 5 minutes, even 6 minutes, 7 minutes is okay. Try not to think about it as 5 or 7 minutes, but instead think about it as seconds. So 5 minutes, of course, is 300 seconds. And 300 seconds means that it's 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. And I can count like this to 300. I realize that that's quite a long time. So again, if you read the article in 5 to 7 minutes and you understand about 70% of what you're reading, you should have no problem to pass the reading section. So be calm, be confident, and just understand that 7 minutes can be a lot of time, especially if you're practicing this at home. Definitely the way to get good scores on the reading section is to read the full article, and I will show you some examples of this later. So as you're reading, again, the first point here is read the full article and be confident. 5 minutes equals 300 seconds. So if you think about it as 300 seconds, you will hopefully calm down a bit and realize that it's a lot more time for just one page of text. And that still leaves you a lot of time for answering questions, of course. Now, the second point to pay attention to as you're reading is try to see what you're reading. So as you're reading the information, when you're practicing at home, you can close your eyes and try to imagine what you're reading. It's really important that you are active as a reader and you are present as a reader and you try to see the information, because if you don't do this, it doesn't matter if you're an international student or an English-speaking student. It's very difficult to understand information if you're not paying attention and if you're not seeing that information. Remember, humans are visual. We like to see our world. So again, see the information that you're reading. So see, visualize the information as you read. Again, this is something you must practice at home. It's very difficult to do spontaneously just by going to the exam and trying it for the first time. So make sure you do that at home several times. Close your eyes, read again, and do that, okay? And then another point that you can practice at home is for each paragraph, stop and ask what, why, and how. So after you read each of the paragraphs, especially when you're practicing at home, then stop for a second and ask yourself, what am I reading? Why does the author say this? Or why is this information important? And then how does the author show this? So what is the example? If you can answer these 3 questions clearly for each paragraph or each part, then you should have no problems answering the questions after. Again, this is something you need to practice at home. You do not have time to do this during the exam, so you need to train your mind to think in this way. This is called critical thinking. So these are the points that you should pay attention to while you're reading the passage. Okay, so now that we are clear on these points, again, let's look at the article that we're using in this video, and let's read this article, and then we can go on to answering the questions.
Coin-operated laundry, a how-to guide. Coin-operated washing machines and dryers are used in public laundromats, as well as private residences such as apartment buildings. The only major difference between coin-operated laundry and regular laundry is the requirement for individual payment for each load done, usually separate for each of washing and drying. Below are the appropriate steps that should be taken to successfully navigate a coin-operated laundry facility. 1. The first step is to have the correct change. A public laundromat is likely to have a change machine on hand, but an apartment building is less likely to do so. Laundry machines will only take certain denominations of change, so don't show up to a laundromat with pennies and expect to do your laundry. 2. The amount of detergent to use is the same as a regular washing machine. If you are using your own detergent, follow the directions on how much to use in one load. If you purchase detergent from the laundromat, it generally comes in one load packages for ease of use. 3. You must now fix the settings on the washing machine's controls, normally located on the front of the machine. You can choose from cold, hot, and warm settings, as well as regular or delicate settings. Cold water should be used for colors, as hot water tends to make colors fade. Hot water is best for getting stains out, although pre-treating stains is always a good idea. 4. Insert the appropriate coins into the machine. They usually go into a sliding tray, which is then pushed into the machine. The cost of a washing machine for one load is typically around £3, while it costs another £1 or £1.50 to use the dryer. Larger washing machines which handle bigger loads may cost more to use. 5. While the washing machine's drum is filling with water, put in your laundry. This allows the detergent to be evenly distributed. Close the washing machine's lid and wait for it to finish its cycle. Normally, a wash cycle will take an hour to complete. Make sure to be considerate about using laundry facilities, especially if you live in an apartment building with limited machines. Always make sure to be there when your laundry is ready to switch over to the dryer, and when it is done. When you are done with the dryer, be sure to take out and clean the lint trap so that it is ready to use for the next person's laundry.
Now that we've read the passage, it's time to have a look at the questions and answer them. So when you're answering the questions, again, there are a couple of skills and strategies that you should follow to give you the best chance for a great score. The first point you must recognize about the IELTS exam is the questions come in the order of the passage. So that means that the first question is coming somewhere from the beginning of the passage. The second question is coming somewhere after. Third is after the second one. And of course, the last question in the set will be coming from somewhere near the end of the article that you've just read. So they are coming in order, so you shouldn't be jumping around. All right, so remember, answers come in the order of the article or passage. Okay, the second point, and this is a very, very important point, is do not change your answer. So once you found your answer and you believe it's the correct answer, don't change it. Usually, and there's a lot of research that shows this, People will change correct answers to incorrect answers more times than the opposite. So the best rule is don't change your answers. Be confident, stick with your answer, just make sure your spelling is correct and go to the next question. This is not only important to make sure that you don't change a correct answer to a wrong one, but also because this way your confidence will stay high and you're not going to waste a lot of time. Okay, so do not change answers. Okay, again, keep your confidence, keep your time. It's more valuable than the low chance of picking up an extra point. So don't change answers. Now, the third point, and this is a skill that you will need to use in every section of the IELTS exam, but especially when you're doing these reading questions, is look for paraphrasing. So look for paraphrasing. Now, paraphrasing is the tool that is used most by test makers. Again, for a detailed review of paraphrasing and for lots of practice and help with paraphrasing, I strongly suggest you visit our website at gieltshelp.com, where we describe paraphrasing in a step-by-step way. Paraphrasing means to say the same idea but using different words, like for example, let's go, we should leave, we must exit. I said the same idea in 3 different ways. This is all paraphrasing. So there are different ways to paraphrase, such as synonyms, antonym plus negatives, expressions, grammar, or even using definitions. So, for example, saying it's red, it's round, it's delicious. What I'm talking about is an apple. So I'm basically paraphrasing the word apple or the fruit apple by describing it. So that's a definition or descriptive paraphrasing. And the IELTS exam will use all of these different techniques of paraphrasing to make the questions. If you know these and you can see these, again, that will make you very confident and will help you to get a lot of answers correct. So let's look at the questions now for the article that we just read. Let's use these skills to solve these questions and get the correct answers. So when you're looking at the questions, always make sure to read the instructions because there are small differences even within the same question type in the instructions, and it's really important to pay attention to those. So let's look at our questions now. Questions 1 to 8. Complete the flowchart below. Choose no more than 2 words and or a number from the text for each answer. Write your answers in boxes 1 to 8 on your answer sheet. Okay, so when the instructions say that write no more than 2 words and or a number, it's almost for sure that at least 1 or 2 of these answers will require 2 words and or a number. Sometimes you'll read 1 word only. Make sure you only have 1 word for your answers because if you have more, they will be wrong. Also, sometimes you will see write no more than 3 words and or a number. In this case, for sure, there will be 1 or 2 that will require 3 words. Maybe some will require two, and maybe some will require only one word. So again, be really careful about this. Okay, let's look at question 1. With coin-operated laundry, payment is required for each something. Now here, because the word is at the end of the sentence, it's a very good chance that this is going to be the object or the noun of the sentence. So the location of the blank is important. And this answer will be coming from somewhere at the beginning of the passage. And I shouldn't have to look for all of my answers, maybe only half. It's not a good idea to be looking at the passage and searching for each answer. Again, skimming and scanning is not a truly effective technique. So here I know that the answer is load. So for each load of clothing, I'm going to have to pay separately. If I want to find this answer, I will find it in the first paragraph in the third and fourth line. The sentence reads, "The only major difference between coin-operated laundry and regular laundry is the requirement for individual payment for each load done." Notice here the word requirement. In the question, the word is required. So here, the paraphrasing is grammar. So changing the noun requirement to the verb required. And if I can see that paraphrasing, it will make it easy for me to find the correct answer. Okay, moving on to the next question. In order to pay, you need appropriate something to put into the slots. So again, from the location and the words need appropriate, I know that the blank requires a noun. And again, this is a question that if I read the article carefully, I shouldn't have to try to find this. The answer here is change. So in order to pay, you need appropriate change to put into the slots. Pennies and nickels will not work. And the pennies and nickels also gives me a hint that the answer here is change. If I want to find this in the passage, again, I will find it in the second paragraph describing the first step in the first sentence. It says, the first step is to have correct change. Now here the key word is correct. In the question, the word is appropriate. In the article, the word is correct. So this is an example of synonym paraphrasing. All right, if we look at question 3. If you are using your own something, read the directions on the back of the package to see how much to use. So if you're using your own, well, if I'm at the laundromat, I can only be using my own clothes and my own soap. And soap for laundry is called detergent. So again, it's a noun here. The correct answer is detergent. When I look at the article, this is coming from the third paragraph. If you are using your own detergent, follow the directions on how much to use in one load. In the article, it says follow the directions. In the question, it says read the directions. This is an example of paraphrasing using an expression because when we say follow the directions, this is an expression, means read the directions and do what they say. Okay, moving on to number 4. Something water should be used for something if you have stained clothing. Something is preferable. At the beginning of the sentence, the subject is water. So I recognize that in the blank, I'm missing an adjective, so something that modifies the word water. And then should be used for something. So here, if I'm searching for this answer, because it might be difficult when you have two blanks like this to figure it out without looking back at the passage, no surprise, we find this in the fourth paragraph, which is describing step 3. and in lines 3 and 4. Cold water should be used for colors, as hot water tends to make colors fade. Hot water is best for getting stains out, although pre-treating stains is always a good idea. So here I realized the missing adjective is cold, and cold water is best used for colors so that you don't lose the color of clothing. So it makes sense. Again, the articles and the questions in the IELTS do not lie. They don't try to trick you with false information. So it is accurate information as in the real world. And then if I keep going, if you have stained clothing, hot water is preferable. Now, in the article it says, hot water is best for getting stains out. This is a type of descriptive paraphrasing. Okay, the next step in the flowchart is given completely. Insert the appropriate coins into the sliding trays. I still read this so that the ideas flow and that they're connected. And then I go to the next step. Putting your laundry in while the drum is filling allows the detergent to be more something. Again, this is maybe a bit more difficult, so this is a kind of question I might want to go back for. I find the answer to this at the beginning of the final paragraph describing step 5, which says, this allows the detergent to be evenly distributed. So hopefully I can find the information allows the detergent, and here I need 2 words, evenly distributed. This is a good example of where you need the 2 words. If you only have the word distributed, you will not get this question correct. So careful with these. Okay, and then finally, step 8, step 7, always be considerate when you're done your laundry and remove the something so the next person can do their laundry right away. So remove here is a key word. It's a verb meaning take out. So I need to try to remember what I need to take out. Hopefully I can answer this without looking at the passage. I should take out the lint from the lint trap. And this is an inferred answer coming from the last sentence. When you are done with the dryer, be sure to take out and clean the lint trap so that it is ready to use for the next person's laundry. So here, if you use the word lint, you will get this correct. Lint trap is not correct because you need to put the lint trap back. So let's now see all of these answers together, review the passage, and just make sure that these are all clear. This lesson and video that you just saw is coming from gieltshelp.com. For more videos like this and lots more help for the General IELTS exam, please visit us there and join the full course.